What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmachi. Now, today we're going to be talking about bonds, and all about bonds. We just got a ton of tickets in the game, and a lot of you guys are going to be asking me what 4-star bonds you can keep. In fact, people have already been asking me. So, to kick this off, I'll actually show you how to get to the screen, okay? So, if you hit the little gear icon up here at the top, and you hit Inventory, and you go to Bond, it'll list every bond you have in the game. 4-star, even 2 and 3 stars, and all of these are actually worthwhile. If you want to know a little bit more deeper dive into this, beginning of every month for the past 2 years, ending probably about mid 2021, I've done a video each and every single month, basically covering what these are, how to use them, and how you can convert this into free-to-play Iris. But just simply know that you can convert this into free-to-play Iris. I'll cover that in another video a little bit later, but we'll just kind of gloss over that today and give you just a brief overview. And we'll, like I said, we'll do a deeper dive later on. But just know you can convert these bonds into items that you can use to get free-to-play Iris. Notice I have 4,500 of those white gems up top and 60 of the black gems. How I did that? Well, over here you have a little sell button where I can sell my bonds of Oka. Or right above him, I have a sell multiple. Now, I would recommend by starting this off and selling multiples. You can choose 2, 3, and even 4-star here under sell multiple. Note there is a sell all button. I wouldn't worry about that at this juncture. Where you're probably at in the game right now, if you're watching this, you probably don't need to worry about the sell all button. But you can click sell surplus, and if you have any surplus bonds, you can sell them. This means any bonds that aren't needed to max a unit out. So if we go back here, you notice that Oka himself has 5 bonds. That means that I need 5 bonds to max him out in to max out his 2-star unit. But if you come down here, Hestia's got 4. She's got 4. I'm sure I've got some down here that have like 2 or 3. Yeah. So the cat ears Anya, she has 3. That means I only need 3 bonds to max her out. And there is some benefit to maxing these units out. You do get some free-to-play Iris. Every unit that you get to +5, you get 80. You do get 80 Iris for. I wouldn't take them all the way to level 80. I would just do +5 because there's no Iris benefit to taking them to level 80. You're basically just wasting items at that point. So get them to +5. Don't bother leveling them. You'll be fine. Okay, that's that is the main thing you want to take away from that. Once again, we'll do a deeper dive into that a little bit later because that is a great way to farm Iris. But if we come down here to the 4-star bonds, this is where it starts to get tricky. Because a lot of people are a little gun-shy about throwing away 4-star bonds, and I kind of get it. Because it can be really intimidating. Like, what if I want to max that unit out at some point in time? But with the way power creep in this game works, most units that, in fact, most units just in general, you're not going to care about. You really are not going to care about. Now, the fastest and easiest way to tell is to go down here and see how quickly they appear in the list. So things that are really early in the 4-star list, these are very, very, very old bonds. So, like this classy gentleman Finn, I'm never going to max that unit out. Sparkle Princess Eyes is a unit that I've surprised I don't have maxed out, but I'm definitely never going to max her out. So I could sell her bonds very, very easily. Now, if I go down to the bottom of the list all the way, okay, we'll get down here to a lot of the newer units and even some of the collab units that didn't max out like I should have. And these are units you want to be very, very, very cautious about. These are units you do not want to sell under any circumstances because these are units that are going to be extremely useful. You can actually see how little I've been doing some updates later, or some updates in my game, and I'll kind of cover that a little bit later. Now, so 4-star bonds, when you sell them, let's go ahead up here and sell that Finn bond. When you sell these 4-star bonds, and the reason I'm covering this, okay, let's sell Finn, all right? So I have 4,100 of the white gems and 70 of the black gems. If I click max here, it's going to just take the 1 bond. Now I have 4,150 and 80 of the black gems. The main thing you want to take away from this is that 4-star bonds are worth the most. So 50 of the white gems, 10 of the black gems. The black gems, the Dulb, those only come from 4-star bonds. So if I sell a Goibnu bond here, okay, it's only worth 10 of the white gems and none of the black gems. Black gems, Dulb, only come from the 4-star bonds. And if you want to know more about that, either check out the previous videos or I'll cover that in a later video. But these gems are integral to those of you that are trying to save Iris right now for the anniversary. I'll just do a quick brief overview since we're here right now and it's topical. So if you go down here to shop and you go to the Sirius and Dulb exchange, you'll notice that in here you can buy 2-star and 3-star tickets. I highly recommend doing that. It is worthwhile. I try to buy all those tickets every single month. In fact, I'm sitting on 4,000 the Sirios, so I could probably buy most things out. Now, Aurario souvenirs are interesting. These are the CP items only for crossover units, so I do try to max that out every month, and notice that is now 500 of my white gems gone. Single flowers, books of nobility, dungeon sandwiches, or I'm sorry, books of knowledge and dungeon sandwiches are all the small items. Dungeon cake, book of nobility, and big bouquets are all the big items. It just depends upon which unit you have as to how much CP that equates to. But these are the items that you use to level up all your units in the character list. And as you level them up, once again, I'll do my own video on that separately because it's its own honest topic. But as I buy all these, I can upgrade those units, and that will equate to more free-to-play Iris. Remember, every unit you level up, certain levels are going to give you a certain amount of Iris, so it's well worthwhile. That's why whenever we get new units in the game, or crossover units or anything like that, I say it's always worth getting at least one. So if you're lacking any of the crossover units from the Executioner crossover, you need to make sure those units are acquired, at least one, before the banners go away, because once they're gone, you never know if the crossovers are ever going to come back. Okay, but like I said, you could buy 3-star bonds here, but we get to the black gems. The black gems, you could buy hero lights, 4-star tickets, which I do not recommend at all, or prism bonds for adventure and assist. 100 of these will buy a prism bond, 150 will buy an assist prism bond. So it is worthwhile selling these. If you don't know, basically the prism bond, you can unlock a free bond on any non-time limited 4-star unit. So a lot of these units, like Otaro especially, is one that I've been working on a lot lately for my wargame team, because he would not drop for me at all. So it's pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Now, to answer the question that everybody's asking, how do you know who to pick? Well, the long and the short of it is the answers can be different for everybody. There are going to be some bonds that somebody's going to want to sell and some bonds that some people aren't. Case in point, the wedding units just got a major rebalance. For me, I'm never going to use them, but for some people who are light on water units from the anniversary, they might find some success in those units. Let's, yeah. So, case in point. Let's grab, okay. So we've got this Wind Lily. This Wind Lily is spectacular. She is phenomenal. You can, in fact, go over here to her skills and almost tell right away, what she's all about. She's got paragraphs, and I mean paragraphs for description, okay? If I go down here to one of the first lilies, and they do actually show up in order. So the older lilies here will be some of the first ones to show up. So this Fire Lily, first one in the game. Look at those skills. You're never using this unit. If you get bonds of this unit, then right away you can throw it away. The other thing you can look at are the passive skills. So she gets ailment resistance 15%, endurance 5.5%. What even is that? But just to make sure we're not making a mistake, you do want to make sure that you max limit break them. You don't necessarily have to see max ascend, but you can look at the numbers. Notice her HP is 3381, and I always say I like to get units that are at least, like, with magic close to 36, 37k. Or 3.6, 3.7k. With physical units, I like to get closer to the 4,000 mark, though that is a bit ambitious. Anything over 3,800 is good. I can already look at her numbers. 1,300 magic, 3,300 HP. I'm going to throw this unit away. But, once again, her passives, 5.5%, 15%, 10%. Nobody's using those. Compare that to the newer Lily, okay? This one right here. And let's fully ascend her. So, at full ascension, HP is 3715. She has almost 500, well, 400, won't exaggerate, 400 more HP. Look at that magic attack, 2,000. 2,000! Well, maybe I didn't max ascend the other Lily, but the other thing you want to look at here, not only are her skills just massive in scope, she has so much going on in these skills. Guard rate, 40%. Agility index, 40%. Magic, 35%. Compared to that to the 5 and 10% numbers we were seeing in those older units, yeah, easily older units can just be tossed. You're never going to find any use in maxing those units. They're just not good for much of anything. The only exception would be if you need the 80 Iris for maxing them out, But in most circumstances, unless you're absolutely fresh at the game, anybody who's playing this game for, a year or more is going to find more use out of the white and black gems than you ever will. That's just the character upgrades, than you ever will bonding out an older unit. The 80 hours you get out of that, you could probably get within 5 minutes just doing character upgrades if you've been playing the game for any kind of time. So let's compare. This Thunder Lily used to be really, really, really good about the time the movie came out. Look at these numbers today. $37.99. That's not bad. $18.28. That's not cutting it for physical attack. But the main thing is, she's got some pretty good stuff. It's an all right. Attack receives single target plus 15%. You're not using that. Strength 80% is really good, but notice she doesn't get any thunder damage. Oh no, I take that back. She does thunder allies 20%. You're not using that. You're never using that. Let's go down to her passives. Critical damage 20%. Now water resistance 35 is pretty good, but notice she doesn't get base attacks with her element. Strength, agility, and dex 15%. I think 35% is now the realm of what we're getting into. 25 to 30% would be really, really good. In fact, I'd probably say 25% is going to be borderline insulting for most people. So that's a quick and easy way to tell. Basically, you can come down here and you can learn real quickly, like how new a unit is really has a quick bearing on their usability. So once again, if I go back here to the gear icon, go to inventory and go to bond, and if I scroll down here real fast, I can see, okay, so I've got the Holy White Royal Riv. So I don't have her maxed, but if I went and looked at her maxed, look at these, just immediately look at these passive skills. Agility 10, Endurance 10, Magic Resist 10. Ain't nobody using this unit at all, period. Passive skills do not, I don't believe, I haven't seen them do that, but usually they don't upgrade much as you upgrade the unit. If you really want to see, if you click and hold on her, it'll bring up her page, and then I could just unlock her and get her up to level 60, which apparently I never did. But at level 60, she's going to have the full effect of her passive. So let's go in here one more time, rank her up, and just see if anything changes. So without even looking at her skills and looking at how useful she is, I can already tell you, just by passive skill alone, she's going to be pretty bad. So if we go back over here to status, go down to the bottom, look at that. See, nothing upgraded. Ailment resist 15%, magic resist 10%. She is not going to be worthwhile in anybody's team. She is going to get decimated. So I can quickly say, all right, that's a unit that I can sell pretty quickly. So once again, if you click and hold on a unit here and just kind of go look at their skills, magic resist 8%. Assists do get upgrades, but, she's a 2-star, so she's not going to do anything. Let's go back down here to 4 stars. Let's grab Classy Gentleman Finn. So press and hold. I have him up to level 64, so I can already tell what his passives are. And I can look at his skills here and look at his skills and already tell you the passives are going to be bad. Strength 5%, Dex 10%, Strength 5%. Nah. Ain't nobody using this unit. Sell it. But, as I said, later on down the list, these units do get pretty good. So, Cat Living Cleric Bond. Now, mind you, she's a crossover unit, but Marielle, 35% guard rate, 45% magic agility and dex. You see the difference? It's pretty straightforward. So just do a little research, check these things out, and you will be shocked. It will make all the difference in the world. But for now, guys, that is going to be the video. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.